Most men assume that older women want romance, financial security, or simple companionship. But this makes me totally surprising. After 3 months of digging, interviewing, and listening, I discovered something far more profound, and it completely changed the way I think about love after 60. It was something deeper, something we rarely consider. Not just the young, fun parts of themselves, but the full, authentic, sometimes messy, always fascinating woman they've become. Hi, welcome back to Journey After 60. Today, I want to share the 3 most important insights about what older women want that I uncovered in my research. The desires of older women are not just different from younger women. They're often the complete opposite of what worked in relationships decades ago. The very behaviors that made you successful with women at 30 might be exactly what's preventing you from connecting with women at 60. Make sure to like this video if you found these insights surprising, and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on more valuable content. By subscribing, you'll stay updated on how to improve your relationships and better understand what really matters in love as we get older. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. Let's dive into the first insight that completely reshaped my understanding of what older women truly desire in a relationship. 1. The hunger for emotional safety. The first thing that genuinely surprised me in my research was what women over 60 crave most in a relationship. It wasn't romance, companionship, or financial security. It was something more fundamental: emotional safety. And when older women talk about emotional safety, it's not exactly what most of us imagine. They've spent decades putting everyone else's feelings first, constantly adjusting their behavior, suppressing their own thoughts and emotions, just to keep the peace. Now, they're reclaiming the right to be fully themselves, to express disagreement without fear of anger, to admit fears about aging without being dismissed or told to just think positive, and to have their experiences seen, heard, and validated rather than minimized. Most importantly, they want a partner who can manage his own emotions, someone who doesn't rely on them to regulate his moods or carry his stress. They're seeking calm, stability, and emotional self-sufficiency from the person beside them. After years of prioritizing everyone else's needs, they've learned that a truly fulfilling relationship comes from mutual respect, emotional maturity, and the freedom to be authentically themselves. This represents a fundamental shift from traditional dynamics where women were expected to be the emotional caretakers. Today, older women want partners who offer emotional stability instead of emotional volatility. Research from the Stanford Center on Longevity confirms this. Women over 60 consistently rank emotional stability in a partner higher than physical attraction, financial security, or shared hobbies. They want men who can handle stress, disagreement, and disappointment without becoming an emotional burden. If your goal is to build a genuine connection, the key lies in mastering emotional self-regulation. This means responding to minor frustrations with calmness rather than irritation, welcoming differing opinions without becoming defensive, and approaching challenging conversations without shutting down or escalating tension. Strive to be a grounding presence, a source of stability and reassurance, rather than contributing to chaos or drama. When she shares her thoughts, fears, or frustrations, listen attentively with the intent to truly understand, rather than to argue or win. Validate her experiences first, acknowledging them as real and important before offering solutions or advice. In doing so, you create an environment where trust, openness, and authentic connection can flourish. Mastering emotional safety lays the foundation. Once women feel secure, they look for something many men never considered: true intellectual partnership. Are you creating emotional calm for others, or unconsciously expecting them to manage yours? Self-awareness is key, because this leads to our next discovery. 2. The longing for intellectual partnership. Building on emotional safety, I found something that initially puzzled me. Older women crave intellectual engagement on a level far beyond the casual chats of their youth. Once they feel safe to speak openly, they want their thoughts to be taken seriously. My friend Dorothy explained it perfectly. Widowed for 3 years, she had recently begun dating again. She spoke of a man who was attractive, financially stable, and kind, yet she considered ending things. Why? Whenever she tried to discuss books, ideas, or current events, he dismissed her or gave shallow responses. Dorothy felt her mind was tolerated rather than respected. I call this phase an intellectual awakening. After decades devoted to raising families, managing careers, and taking care of everyone else's needs, older women are finally turning their attention back to themselves, to their curiosity, their passions, and their hunger for meaningful ideas. They no longer settle for small talk or surface-level exchanges. Instead, they crave conversations that challenge them, inspire them, and honor the depth of their experience. They want partners who treat their thoughts and opinions as valuable, who engage with their minds seriously, and who are willing to explore ideas alongside them rather than simply nodding along or changing the subject. The Roman philosopher Cicero observed that the authority of those who teach is often an obstacle to those who want to learn. In other words, when knowledge is imposed rather than shared, it can stifle curiosity. Translating this idea to modern relationships, I'd reframe it like this. Assuming that older women are satisfied with mere companionship creates a barrier to the rich intellectual connection they genuinely desire. Many men overlook this because they think conversation is just a pleasant pastime. But for women in their 60s and beyond, thoughtful engagement of the mind is not optional, it's essential. It signals respect, shared curiosity, and a partnership of equals. Meeting this need isn't about formal education, it's about genuine curiosity. Ask questions, actively listen, and explore topics together. Show that her thoughts, opinions, and passions matter. Research from Harvard's Study of Adult Development confirms it. Couples over 60 who engage in stimulating conversations report higher relationship satisfaction than those whose interactions remain surface level. To connect on this level, engage fully in discussions about books, art, politics, or ideas she loves. Respect her intellectual interests as essential, not optional. Show curiosity through follow-up questions that demonstrate active listening. Encourage shared exploration through reading, documentaries, or learning together. Ask yourself, how deeply do you currently engage with the intellectual world of the women in your life? And share your opinions in the comment. This brings us to Discovery 3, something that challenges every assumption our generation had about what women need. 3. The need for authentic independence. The third discovery turned my assumptions upside down. For decades, we were told women want security, protection, or someone to take care of them. But after talking to women over 60, I found they actually desire something radically different: authentic independence within a relationship. My sister Helen illustrated this perfectly. She was dating a man who insisted on managing her life, finances, medical appointments, and day-to-day decisions. Helen, having spent decades with partners who made decisions for her, realized she was fully capable on her own. What she wanted now was a partner who celebrated her independence, not replaced it. This isn't about being demanding, difficult, or ungrateful. It's about rediscovering the satisfaction and confidence that come from true self-sufficiency, and wanting a partner who enhances that independence rather than trying to control it. She desires someone who offers support when requested, but never assumes she needs rescuing or guidance in areas she is fully capable of managing herself. This represents a profound shift from traditional relationship roles. Today, older women look for partners who honor their autonomy while remaining emotionally present and intellectually engaged. The relationship they seek isn't about one person leading and the other following. It's about two equals standing side by side, each strong, self-reliant, and fully capable, coming together to share life rather than dominate or be dominated. It's the balance of independence and connection where mutual respect becomes the foundation for genuine partnership. Practical ways to honor independence. Ask how you can support her without taking over. Request her input before making joint decisions. Offer help when welcomed, not imposed. Listen and ask, "What are you thinking?" or "How can I best support you?" instead of jumping in with solutions. Emotional safety, intellectual engagement, and authentic independence aren't separate needs. They're deeply interconnected. Emotional safety creates the space for her to be fully authentic without fear of judgment or conflict. Intellectual engagement stimulates her curiosity, values her thoughts, and honors the depth of her mind. Authentic independence acknowledges her hard-earned autonomy, showing respect for her ability to manage her own life while still sharing a meaningful partnership. When these three elements come together, they form a relationship that doesn't just accommodate an older woman's needs, it actively celebrates the person she has become, honoring her wisdom, her passions, and the fullness of her experience. What older women truly want. Older women don't want a watered-down version of what younger women wanted. They seek partners who respect their emotional depth, stimulate their intellect, and honor their independence. These aren't arbitrary preferences. They're the natural result of decades of personal growth and life experience. The ancient Roman philosopher Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." For older women, this wisdom has become lived experience. They've learned that happiness comes from within, and they want partners who understand and celebrate this, rather than trying to become the source of their happiness. If you want to connect with older women, you need to become someone who creates emotional calm rather than emotional drama. Someone who can engage meaningfully with ideas and interests, and someone who respects and celebrates independence rather than trying to create dependence. Over the next month, focus on one of these three areas. If you struggle with emotional reactions, work on developing greater emotional stability. If you tend to stick to surface conversations, practice asking deeper questions and engaging with ideas. If you have a tendency to try to take care of women, practice respecting their independence while still being supportive. Understanding what older women want isn't just about improving your relationships with women, it's about evolving into the kind of man who can create authentic partnership with people who have grown into their full authenticity. If you found this insight valuable, give this video a like, comment below with your thoughts, share it with someone who would benefit, and subscribe to the channel for more insights. Relationships after 60 have changed. Understanding these shifts can make all the difference. Thank you for joining me today.